Hello children, in the last class we have studied what is food chain and what is food web. Now today we are going to see how our environment is getting balanced. What all things are necessary for environmental balance. So let us begin. There are several food chains in the nature, children, as seen in the picture. In the first picture, you can see that maize plant is eaten by rat. Rat is eaten by owl. In second picture, you can see carrots eaten by rabbit. You know carrots are the favorite food of rabbit. And rabbit is eaten by fox, which is eaten by lion. In third picture, you can see grass eaten by grasshopper. Grasshopper is eaten by frog, frog is eaten by python, and python is eaten by eagle. So this type of food chains exist in the nature. Now all these food chains are very necessary for environmental balance. Because of these food chains, every living thing gets the food it needs and therefore continues to live. Microorganisms living in the soil help the process of decomposition of plant residue, dead animals, excreta, etc. They eat dead plants, animals and decompose them. That is, they reduce them into simpler forms. Mainly, fungi and bacteria act as decomposers. Now these microorganisms are small organisms which we cannot see with our eyes, but they can be seen with the help of microscope. Okay, so what they do, they convert the dead plants and animals into simpler form by decomposing them. As a result of this decomposition, substances that help the growth of plants are formed and get added to the soil. Plants use them for their growth. Now children, here you can see one plant is there, right? Now this plant, when it dies, the process of decomposition begins. As the process of decomposition begins, the nutrients are returned back to the soil and these nutrients are utilized by another plant to grow. As it gets sunlight, water and nutrients from the soil, it grows and the process continues in this way. So as the process continues, this is called as cycle. Thus, plants use substances in the soil for their growth, and when plants and animals die, the decomposition of their remains adds the substances to the soil once again. This is an important cycle in the environment. Also, living things get a continuous supply of water because of the water cycle. In the picture, you can see, children, that water gets evaporated due to sun's heat. As it goes up, it cools down. That is, the process of condensation begins. Once it cools down, it precipitates. That is, it falls down in the form of rain, and then it gets collected in the river, in the seas, oceans. So that is called as process of collection. So with the help of this four processes, that is evaporation, condensation, precipitation and collection, the water cycle goes on in the nature. Living things use oxygen from the air for breathing and give out carbon dioxide. All the living things, children, may be humans, animals or plants, they need oxygen from the air for breathing and they give out carbon dioxide. Plants use the carbon dioxide from the air for making their food during daytime. Okay, so during daytime, whatever carbon dioxide is released, by other living organisms, it is utilized by plants for making their food. So oxygen is given out in this process and gets added to the air again. This too is a cycle in nature. This cycle can be called as oxygen cycle. There are several other such cycles in nature which are very important for living organisms to survive. Thus, there is interaction amongst living things and between living and non-living things in nature. This interaction helps to maintain the food chains in the environment, and these interactions go on continuously. When the various cycles in the environment go on uninterrupted, environmental balance gets maintained. So now let us quickly revise what we have learned in this chapter. We have learned that there are innumerable types of living things on the earth, and this variety we call as biodiversity. There is interaction between living and non-living things in the environment. Both living and non-living things are dependent on each other for their needs. Different kinds of animals, plants, and microorganisms are found in different regions of the earth, and all these living organisms are very important to balance the environment. The water cycle, various other cycles, and food chains in nature help to maintain the balance in the environment, and this balance has been maintained for thousands of years. So here we end with this chapter, environmental balance. That's all for this class. Thank you. Have a nice day.